Brilliant.
From the 405 to get to like the 101 and the goat sliding in the back. And I'm thinking, why did I do that? Why didn't I? But anyway, it was all fine. He ended up fine. And then he ended up being driven back to Texas. I doubt that he's with us today, but he was a good goat.
Yeah. He was a lovely goat. Ernie, right? Ernie the goat?
Ernie.
Yeah. A very apropos name.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could remember the name of the goat trainer right now, but lovely man too. Anyway, so that's just a little story about the fun we had.
Nice. Fire away, Brendan.
What was it like filming in that time? Was it much different to now? I was probably 5 or 6 at the time myself, so
perfect age.
Yeah.
Perfect age. I just remember that it was one of the most I love movies or any subject matter about underdogs. I think it's so needed in the world because, I think everybody is born with dreams. Every child is born with dreams. And, we should really focus. I'm a big believer that our goals and our dreams, we have to be steadfast and true to them. And this movie really represented that to me, that it was sort of a downtrodden town, so to speak, that had kind of lost its hope, its faith. And that's something we can never lose sight of, no matter how bad things get. And I just thought it was such a beautiful arc for all of the kids in the film, and every character, the character between Jessie and her father, he was an alcoholic, and through her example of change and through working as hard as she did, she was able to affect change on her father. So he got dry, he stopped drinking, so the relationships ran very deep between the kids and the parents, very true to life. My character and Steve's character, they're sort of oddballs in a way, quite eccentric, but somehow through this incredible feat to get these kids, bring them alive and give them a sense of purpose, and give the town, that then reflects, it has a ricochet effect on giving the town a sense of purpose. So it's an all-encompassing, it becomes a family because of the spirit of the film and the message behind keeping the faith, carrying on, and this Anna, who comes to town with this thing of like, this isn't going to work at all. We've got to learn football, and we've got to give it our best shot. And it's that very kind of British stiff upper lip thing that is such a contrast to this wonderful little town in Texas. I got into this being very motivated to work with kids really for the first time in my life, other than the Wonder Years when I was sort of a teenager. And I had so much fun. They were also talented. They were also athletic. We had so many amazing, already almost professional league soccer players. And then some of the kids weren't, but that was kind of what made it special. And just the bonding happened between, I think, the physicality of Holly was very pro us rehearsing and playing soccer as much as we could. And I think being as great of a director and creator as she is, and person as she is, she knows that's how you create a bond and a tribe, and that would then translate onto camera, onto cinema, which it did. So, though we were acting, playing our roles, a lot of that was just the general osmosis that we were picking up off through our environment, and through Holly being so amazing and Steve being such a fun, great guy, and our DP and our crew, and just bonding on that soccer field with the endorphins going and everything is what I think really generated the mood and the spirit. And that's what the film has left over time. I think is you watch it and it's just so full of life. It's so positive. So you go from a downtrodden kids who are down on their luck, parents who are down on their luck, nobody's working, has any jobs, and then suddenly it comes from the kids, it comes from the youth. It's a great message.
And was it?
The kids, I think it's worth saying we had Chauncey Leopoldi and Patrick Rana, who had come from Sandlot, and we had Billy Sullivan. He's the boy who broke his arm, and he came from Los Angeles also, and then Bug. And Jessica Robertson, we found her in Texas, and she had a big part, and she pulled it off. And Anthony was in the movie. He was also from Texas, and he was probably the best soccer player of everybody.
Yeah.
He was so good. And there was the woman who played Anthony's mom.
Mother was so wonderful, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was great. And her name is Yareli Arizmendi, and she's become known for, I think she did that movie A Day Without Mexicans, but she was a really solid actress. And a couple of years ago, I got into the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, and
congratulations.
They have a sort of a party when you get in, and Yareli was in the same class as me, and turning I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh, it's so great. I mean, she's such an interesting person and so talented. So that was great. And then the other, so Anthony Esquivel, he was, and then Jordan Brower. Jordan was a really good soccer player, and he was from Texas. So he was a local hire. And then Haley Kolb, I'm still friends with her family.
Are you? And what about the twins?
When then there was Haley Miller, and then the twins were Ashley Welch and Ariel. And then remember Jimmy Higa? I think he had gone to Columbia. I think so they were so different. Everyone was so different. I wanted twins in the movie. I love twins, and I wanted twins. I wrote it for twins, and I remember we couldn't find twins, and I remember the studio calling me and saying, "Why do you have to have twins?" And I went, "Well, twins inherently."
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and I go, "I want twins. We're gonna find twins." So now here's the irony of my life: my sons are now married, and my oldest son had his first children, and they're twins. So,
oh, wow. Yeah.
So I have twin grandsons. Ashley and Ariel Welch, they were girls, but I guess my fascination for twins just keeps going. But and Tyler Bishop, he played. We got a lot of kids that were from down there, and they were great. And the cast was great. And Dennis Bishop was our line producer. He was our producer. And he did a great job.
And our casting director would be.
Danny!
He was down there for like 2 weeks, and he joined in playing soccer with us. We just got everybody to join in.
He's still one of my really close friends. He's
so lovely.
He had his 60th birthday last week. I was working in New York, so I couldn't go, but he's one of the really the best person. I love him so much. And Roger Birnbaum was a producer, and he had
love Roger.
He produced Angels in the Outfield with Joe Roth, and so they came down to see us, and Randy Edelman did the music, and he came down to see us, and Randy.
No, it was infectious. That's what I mean. It's like the spirit spread like wildfire that people wanted to be. It was irresistible. People just, it was also really healthy. People, I remember at that time in the 90s, not only soccer was really it was really catching on here in this country, but, just it was a great way to get a great workout and be happy and share, exercising or playing team sport.
Was it sort of like a learning experience, like each learning off each other? Like some were more experienced at acting than others, and some knew how to play soccer. And
basically, the actors weren't good at soccer, and the soccer players were learning how to act. So, between us. But the culture in Texas is a football culture, and culture of this very small town was supposed to be a football, not soccer, traditional football. And I remember thinking it was really funny because it was in the fall and the winter, and it was the NFL was playing, and so the crew was really interested in traditional football. And I remember that we had every week the crew, organized I think by the Grips, would have a pool, and you'd have to bet on games. And so we just got more and more fanatical about sports. We're betting $5 every week on our NFL teams, and then we were to follow soccer in Europe, and then the kids are playing soccer, and I love sports, so that was all kind of heaven in a way.